All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Matchroom Radio with David Diamante. This is episode 82. We are at Madison Square Garden. We are right next to the big stage right here where tomorrow night, this man to my left is going to be performing, Teremoana Teremoana. Great to see you, my brother.
Thanks,
How are
David.
you?
Nah, good, mate. Good to be here. Yeah, you know, everyone wants to be in Madison Square Garden, and on my US debut, I get a good fight. So, yeah, can't wait.
Have you ever been here before?
Nah, first time in New York. I've only ever been to Colorado. But, yeah, you know, you see all this in the movies and just walking through the streets going, like, we went to Central Park, we're going to go to Empire State Building later. It's like, you just see it in the movies and it's just cool to be here.
That's great, man. Listen, I know that feeling because I'm a traveler myself. I like to travel, and there's a special feeling the first time I see these things I've heard about my whole life. You know, I go across to England for the first time, I don't know how many years ago, and I see Big Ben. Oh, wow. And I see. So I appreciate that feeling, and I love that you're having that now, and I love that you're getting to fight here. This is the world's most famous arena, the Mecca of boxing.
That's it.
And this is going to be your 8th pro fight, yeah?
Yeah, this will be the 8th one. I would say it's my 4th pro fight because I had 4 fights before I went back to the amateurs, and since signing with Matchroom, this is my 4th fight. Yeah, 8 in total, but I'm still fairly new to this pro game, and I'm looking forward to the journey and the ride it's taking me. Like, who would have thought I'd be in New York in 4 fights?
I'm excited to watch it too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if you guys don't know who this gentleman is, he's a heavyweight prospect. You fight out of Brisbane.
Yes.
But you proudly represent your Cook Island heritage.
Yes.
Now that's on your father's side, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm half Australian from my mother and half Cook Island from my father. The reason why I'm so proud is because I was brought up with my father around the community and the culture. And yeah, no one's heard of it before. Like, maybe a few, but you know, in Polynesia, like the Cook Islands, they're very small with a population of less than 30,000. And for one of us to be here in New York fighting on the biggest arena in the world, it's like, it's an accomplishment. And this is not the end goal. I want to be world champ. I want to be undisputed eventually and put we're the best fighters. I believe that we got what it takes to be the best fighters in the world, but we just haven't had that system, that the training and the coaching in the Cook Islands before. But now that we've moved to Australia, where the land of milk and honey, as my grandfather called it, yeah, now the fruits being produced is me.
You speak of your grandfather. I know he's very important to you. Can you tell us a bit about him?
Yeah, so my grandfather, his name's Teremoana Teremoana. He was a teacher in the Cook Islands, I would say the 50s. I don't know exactly when he was born. But yeah, he had a vision for our family to move to New Zealand in the land of milk and honey. And then when my father was a teenager, he moved to Australia. So yes, I give a lot of respect to my grandfather, but I also give a lot of respect to my father because everything I've learned comes from him as well. And I just believe me being here, I'm a representation of my family and all the lessons that they have taught. And I'm just glad to be able to represent us on the world stage.
And your name originally is Samson.
No, it's Teremoana. So my first name is Teremoana.
Okay.
It's I'll just say a few of my middle names so people don't Samson's my middle name.
Okay.
And Teremoana is my family name.
Okay.
So in Australia, when I tell people my name's Teremoana, they used to ask for a nickname because it's a bit hard to say. So I used to allow them to call me Samson when I was younger. So everyone from the ages from 0 to 21, they used to call me Samson. And let me get back to the name. My father really loved the name. He's the one who called me Samson. He really believed that when I get that name, I will get the attributes of the person, which Samson is a biblical person who was the strongest person in history.
I know very well.
If he was a Nazarite, so he had promises with God. He had multiple, but the one he kept was growing his hair, and that's what pretty much gave him his strength. So that was the name my father gave me. But when I was born, my grandfather called him and said, "What'd you name him?" He said, "Samson." He said, "No, you got to name him Teremoana." And then so that's how I got my name. And then, people used to call me Samson up until I was 21. And because my grandfather passed away when I was 20, I decided after my 21st birthday that I'm going to carry his name on. So he's still around. So when everyone's saying my name here, and I see it on the stage, like I'm doing a good job because
you're carrying this legacy on.
His name is in New York now. His name is all over the world, and like that's what I'm doing it for. It's not for me, it's for my family. Yeah.
So you talk about the name Samson and the power of the hair.
Yes.
So there is something to your hair also. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So from my 21st birthday, when I asked everyone to call me by my first name, Teremoana, since that day, I haven't cut my hair. And I'm growing it because I'm the new and improved Samson. But yeah, Teremoana. So I haven't cut my hair for the last, 8 years now. And I plan to do so until the end of my career. And then when it's done, it's like, I don't need my strength anymore. I'll retire.
Well, you always need your strength, but, and I always say it's not how you wear your hair, it's what's inside your head. But at the same time, it doesn't hurt. There's a lot of power in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of power, and like where we're from in the Cook Islands, it was the warriors grow their hair. As you see in many of the cultures around the world, the Vikings used to grow their hair, have their top knot, and then even the Polynesians, they grew their hair because it's like, they call it mana. It's like energy. And I also believe that with me traveling around the world since I turned 21, all that experience is stored in my hair. Like I've got all this now, and like all this is the physical growth that you can see since I became Teremoana, and like, there's
a lot of energy in it.
Yeah, a lot of power, but all my power comes from God.
So the Cook Islands are mostly they're with New Zealand. Like
Yes.
you said, your dad thought he was going to go to New Zealand, or your grandfather wanted to go to New Zealand, but your dad ended up in Brisbane. How'd that happen?
I was just, I heard he was just maybe like had a troubled youth, and then he got sent to New Zealand to stay with my uncle, and that's kind of how it started. So my uncle was here first, and then, he grew up here, and then so New South Wales, then he moved to Queensland, and then I was born in New South Wales. We moved to Queensland, and then I've been there ever since, and it's the best country in the world, Australia. Like, it's multicultural, and we got so much opportunity there. Yet a lot of people over there, like I'm talking from my own experience, like we don't take advantage of the opportunity. We kind of like stuck in our ways. But I'm hoping that through me and people can see that if you just give a little bit of effort, like you can pretty much achieve anything you want to achieve.
And speaking of Australia, you were supposed to fight there last week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it was
what happened with that? Was the Jaya
yeah.
Pattaya card?
Yeah, it was specified in June 8. Like, we have been struggling to get fights in Australia for a long time.
If you've seen this guy fight, I don't blame him.
So we were supposed to have a fight. A week out, we got news that my opponent pulled out due to COVID. So my team was on the go trying to...
I don't know who it is, but I hope he's all right.
His name was Jaipal Singh.
Hope he's okay.
But he got COVID, yeah. But... so he pulled out, so my team was on to other people trying to get replacements, and I know they went through 3-4 people, and like it all fell through. And then, lucky for me, I got the best team in the world. Brian Peters was on to Eddie and said, like, get him on this card, and then here we are.
What do you know about Aleem Whitfield?
What I know about him is he's 9-0. Obviously, we haven't had too much time to study him. He's had 2 stints in his pro career like I have. He used to fight at Cruiser. And then he's come back, I think, like 5 or something years out, and he's come back. He's had 2 fights, both wins by disqualification. So, it might be a fun night come tomorrow night, but you can do what you want. I don't really care. That's my ring. I own that ring, and if you step in, you're going to have to deal with me.
Where does that mentality come from?
I believe... I don't know, I've always had this mentality since I was young. I always believed that whatever I do, I could do it. Well, when I was younger, I didn't want to. Like, I didn't want to prove to anyone that I could do this. I didn't want to prove to, like, I could do that. But since I got my name, they gave me my drive. And I chose the sport of boxing because I thought it was one of the hardest things to do in the world. And if I can accomplish this, why can't my family, like, accomplish something that's... Because I thought it was harder, like something a little bit lower. But anything, you can do anything. But... with my family, my culture, we actually descendants of warriors. Like this warrior named Taratoa, he was one of the greatest warriors in the Pacific. He ended up in New Zealand and like started a thing over there. So in our culture, New Zealand come from the Cook Islands, and I'm just the embodiment of my forefathers, really.
When did you first lace up a pair of gloves?
First lace up, my first fight was at 14. I started boxing at 12. In Australia, we got this sport called rugby league. I used to play that from the ages 6 to 12 and then got into boxing. But I never had a thing for it. I was always a natural athlete type thing, but with boxing, you got to want to do it, eh? You got to want to be there, you got to want to fight, you got to want to go through the trenches, because you're trying to prove something. But for me, I never wanted it, didn't really care. So I was able to compete with the best, but I just couldn't get over that hill. I was at the top of the hill here, but I just couldn't get over that thing. And Justice was the number one at that time. And
who you fought?
Who I fought, in the amateurs multiple times. And
did you see his fight last week?
Yeah. No, it was a good fight.
From what I understand, you're not the biggest boxing fan.
Yeah.
You're not the biggest fan of the sport.
Because when I was younger, I wasn't into it.
Like you,
it's not my
supposedly
thing.
you met Oleksandr Usyk, you didn't even know who he was.
Nah, I knew who he was.
You did? Okay, that's not true. Somebody told me that.
I was like, because we were in the back before the Olympic Games, because I fought Ukraine. He walked past and I was like,
okay.
There goes Usyk. Yeah, he's just another person.
What did you think of the Huni fight against Wardley?
I think the fight speaks for itself. Justice was outboxing him, outclassing him. Like, we got that caliber of boxing in Australia, But that's heavyweight boxing. One punch can change it all. And that's why I like it, because one punch can change it all.
I'm not trying to gas you up, but I want people to understand. We did your first fight in Monaco.
Yes.
First fight with us.
Yes.
And I've sat ringside for, I just can't tell you how many fights. Heavyweight fights, big fights, whatever. The sound of your punches landing on the guy, it was something different.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man. And you made quick work of him.
Nah, yeah. Got the job done.
You got the job done.
And I reckon it all comes down to when I went in the amateurs, I learned how to be a professional. And
well, you had a lot of knockouts in the amateurs.
Yeah.
That's not so typical.
Yeah, because I'm a big boy. I walk around at 120 kilos, that's my fight weight, 6'6", and I eat a lot, and I'm fast, What
do you like to eat?
So my favorite food's pho.
Oh, I
like
love
Vietnamese
pho.
pho.
Vietnamese, yeah.
It's pretty healthy too, so it's not too bad.
It is quite good, yeah.
But I must have a bit of power. I never thought I was a heavy hitter. I'm just there. I think when speed meets power, it's like, yeah.
That's what.
Because I'm pretty quick for a big boy. Like, I'm probably as fast as some of the small fellas, to be honest. And I can say this: I was the fastest on the Australian boxing team. I was the fastest sprinter.
Okay. So you got speed also.
Yeah, it just comes down to genetics. I got those fast twitch fibers, and then now that we're actually fine tuning it in the gym with S&C conditioning, it's starting to, I'm starting to get stronger.
You mentioned Brian Peters, your manager. How did you guys hook up?
So how we hooked up, I know it was through Angelo DiCarlo in Australia, but all this stuff was happening behind the scenes. So as I was doing my amateur career, I had my team behind me, and they were in discussions with Brian. That's all I really know. And then after my Olympic campaign, pretty much straight after I lost, I had a meeting with Brian the next day. He flew in from Ireland to meet me in Paris, and then, we had a talk. And then, the rest is history.
It's a good team to be on.
Yeah.
Small but elite team.
That's it, yeah. And I put it all down to my team, the guidance and the coaching I've had. It doesn't take one person, it doesn't take just me to get here. There's a lot of people behind the scenes.
Of course.
My
but you're the
coaches,
guy,
Gareth
you're where the
Williams,
rubber meets the road.
Chara Roma, Brian Peters.
If you don't win, none of that happens.
Yeah, that's
so,
it.
Yeah, but you're
you
right,
win.
There's a whole team, for sure.
Yeah.
But you're the guy.
Yeah,
you're taking the punches.
I'm the one in the ring.
You're the one in the ring.
There's so much that goes on behind the scenes.
Correct.
The ring is just, train hard, fight easy. So the fighting's that's the fun part. That's the fun part. I love it.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And it shows. You have a different type of demeanor. I mean, you love to dance, you love music, you're an easygoing guy, but you lay it down when it needs to happen, which I really respect and I really love.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just an experience for me. Being here in New York, what an experience to be here, to fight on the biggest arena in the world. Why not enjoy it?
But brother, you fought all over the world.
Yeah.
Hungary, Uzbekistan, many, many places. There's a litany of countries that you've been through. What's some of your favorite countries that you fought in?
I'd say Paris, USA, Colorado. I haven't fought here, but I reckon here will be pretty mean. Australia, everywhere. I enjoy the whole process, the journey. Yeah.
Let's talk about Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Jalolov.
Who?
Exactly.
The Uzbek. Nah, he's a good fellow. You know, he's real humble behind the scenes.
He is. He's a lovely guy. That
Yeah.
whole, like, Murajan, Ahmad Aliyev,
Yes.
Shakram Giyasov, Hassan Boy Dusmatov, Israel Madrimov, Bektamir Melikuziev, and Jalolov.
Yeah.
They're great guys.
Yeah, all
They're
very
great guys. They're
respectful.
good, really good fighters. But you've got a thing with Jalolov. You fought him twice now. Yeah.
Yes.
The first time was a little early.
Yeah, the first time, like, I give no respect to anyone who gets in the ring. Like, yeah, they might be world champion
Sure.
and, like, doesn't matter to me. They might have all these accolades and, like,
Right.
this is supposed to mean something. Like, yeah,
Right.
that's my attitude. But, yeah, the first fight, like, I thought it stopped a bit short, but, you know, that was at the beginning of my international campaign.
Right.
I think that was my sixth fight back in the amateurs.
And it was
like,
in his backyard also.
Actually, Uzbekistan fight. That was a cool place to fight, you know.
Yeah.
I was the underdog. Everyone was cheering for this fella. Like
Sure.
the energy was so. It was cool.
Did you like that? Did you
Yeah.
like being cheered against?
Yeah, I loved it. Like
didn't-
in the moment.
Yeah.
It was so good. And then,
Right.
like, yeah, they stopped it short. I was real annoyed with the decision. Like,
Of course.
Yeah, but that's boxing, you know. And even at the Olympics, I still believe I won that fight, but. You know, you leave it up to the judges. They can
It
decide
was a
something
split
else.
decision, yeah.
And I think they ended up putting it. See what I mean?
Well, it
Yeah.
wasn't a split?
No, it was a split. So it was unanimous 5-0 is what they come to, and
Oh, wow.
the first round should have been unanimous to me. Oh well.
You beat a Ukrainian for the first...
Yeah.
The first round?
So the first round I beat the Ukrainian. He beat me. He was my first loss in the international scene, and then after 2 years we came back and he couldn't even. Yeah, it couldn't take me the distance because I just transformed into a new beast. But yeah.
So do you foresee meeting Jalolov in the future in the pros?
I hope so. Yeah, because I don't think.
How do you envision that fight going down?
He's going down. Yeah, you know, like, won't be able to. Yeah, I know he probably watches all the stuff that I say about him, but he's a good runner. Maybe he should go join track and field, like, and go represent Uzbekistan at the 100-meter sprints because he's good at running. But when it comes to a real fight, everyone knows at the Olympics that, you know, if he didn't run and he stand there. But, you know, that's boxing. Good boxer. I give all respect to him, but no respect when we're in the ring.
It's a fight that I think it's going to have to happen.
Yeah, get it lined up. Yeah, someone line it up.
It's going to have to happen.
Yeah,
It might
I hope
not
so.
happen next. Might not, but I don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah, eventually. You
But
know.
I think this fight has to happen. I think
Yeah.
the fans want to see it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think you definitely want it. And, you know, Bakhodir, he's probably wants to fight also. I mean, I don't know if he does.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't want to fight.
Fighters fight. So
Fighters fight.
if he's a real fighter, he will fight. Yeah,
Exactly. Fighters fight.
that's it. But yeah.
So you did 4 pro fights, and then you went to the Olympics.
Yes.
Would you consider, and now you've done 3 more, this is going to be your 4th pro fight after the Olympics. Would you consider going back to the Olympics?
You know, me personally, I'm here set on the goal for world champion.
Okay.
But I wanted a gold medal, so who knows? Maybe see what happens. My goal is to become world champion, undisputed, prove the point because I wasn't able to prove the point at the Olympics due to the judging.
Is this one of the reasons why you've got 7 knockouts in 7 fights? You
Yeah.
want to take the judges out of it.
Yeah, like
Is that part of it?
that's the plan. Yeah, and like if you can get them out, you win.
Yeah.
You don't have to, stand there, wait for the decision like,
Right.
who won?
Right.
If you can get them out, you win. Yeah, so that's how I see it.
So, talk about meeting Usyk, and you talk about you want to be world champ, you want to be undisputed, but there's a big fight coming up between Usyk and Dubois.
Dubois.
How do you view that fight?
I think Usyk is just levels above like a lot of the heavyweight fighters at this point in time. I would love to fight Usyk. I would love to fight all these boys, you know? Like, this is what it's all about. You want to test yourself against everyone. And I believe I got the attributes to be the best. So anyone who steps in the ring, but with that fight, I think Usyk's just going to be too good of a boxer. He's going to dance around him. Yeah, Dubois might have learned a few things from his last fight, but I don't think he's going to be able to handle the champ.
Okay, we've got some questions here from the fans that I want to ask you. Give me a second here to see what these questions are. Okay. Actually, before we go to the fan questions, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about the domestic scene with the guys like Joseph Goodall, Dempsey McKean, Jackson Murray, guys like this, like the fringe guys back in the Australia circuit. Are you familiar with these guys? What do you feel about the scene going on over there now?
I think Australian boxing is at an all-time high. It's never been like this before. I'm a fighter. When you're saying these names, like, I'll fight anyone. But it's got to make sense for everyone. And yeah, they want their chance, but they don't want to fight really. That's my own opinion. I don't know what happens behind the scenes because I leave it all in my manager's hands and my promoter's hands, and yeah, that's why we're here.
Yeah,
because no one wanted to fight.
Well, I mean, you took this fight on really short notice. Do you feel acclimated? I mean, it's a long flight.
Yeah. Oh, we got here a week ago, so it's all good.
You feel acclimated?
Before I was boxing, I was plumbing, and I used to work 12-hour days in the sun. Sometimes I didn't eat because my nutrition wasn't too great. And then I get in the ring and spar 6 to 8 rounds, Like, there's nothing I haven't done. I've been experienced to hard yakka. I've been in the trenches, like literally. Like, have some of these fighters been in the trenches? Nah, I don't think so. Like, yeah, I'm a working class man. I'm a qualified plumber. And I just chose boxing to give it a crack, to prove to my family that we could do something if we set our mind to it. And that's why I'm here.
When was the moment, because I know there's a moment where like your mentality shifted, because at first you didn't really take boxing that serious, did you?
Yeah, so.
But like, what was that shift in mentality? What was that light bulb moment that?
It was my 21st birthday. So when I decided to go by my first name, Teremoana, to represent my family, it was actually 3 days after I made the choice that I wanted to be a boxer. But in those 3 days, I was like contemplating to myself, like, wow, you're 21 now. I finished my trade that same year. And I was like, you can do anything you want. Like, you got your trade, you can do a business. That was my plan for my whole life, start a business, have a house by 25. But then I was like, if I want to do boxing, you got to do it now while you're young. And I was 21, and I was like, 3 days later, it was like nighttime, and I was like thinking, and I was like, stuff it. I'll just give it a crack, and then that changed everything. And then even since that day, the goal hasn't changed. I still have that same drive from I made that decision 8 years ago now. 6 years. Too much hits to the head. Sure.
Right.
But yeah, like, it was just that day, and then since then I've never looked back, and I'm on the journey.
And you're in it, 2 feet in.
2 feet in, yeah. There's no way out unless I die.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen, not for a long time.
God willing.
God willing. None of us know. Are you okay to answer some fan questions?
Yeah, for sure. Supporters.
Okay, let's see here. Ricky Sakes asks, do you have a catchphrase or motto that you live by?
Oh, I've been writing on my shit, que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be.
Whatever will be, will be. I like that. Okay. Hunt the Hunted asks, what's your favorite punch?
I reckon jab, eh?
Jab.
I throw the jab a lot. That's probably my favorite punch, yeah.
Jab is
and then
great
sometimes, if the jab sets up the right hand's coming.
And you go to sleep.
Yeah.
You don't want to get hit flush with that right hand.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
That's the one.
That's a problem. All right. At Luger B90 asks, who's the greatest Australian boxer of all time? That's a good one.
I'd say Costa Zoo.
Costa.
Yeah, Costa
Probably
Zoo.
Costa.
Yeah. And now, Jalbataya.
There you go.
And then,
Teremoana. Yeah. I would say, though, I mean, look, Costa was, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Undisputed at junior welterweight.
That's it.
But
got to earn my stripes, prove the point. But yeah, in a few years, it'll probably all change.
Lionel Rose.
Oh, Lionel Rose, yes. First Australian champ.
Like to give Lionel Rose a shout out.
First Indigenous Australian champ.
First Indigenous Australian champion, yeah. 1968.
Long time before my time.
And Fennick, Jeff
Fennick,
also.
yeah.
quality, 3-division champ.
Oh, you're making me seem like a sad fella now. You say one person next minute.
But Costa Tszyu. I'm with that. I'm with Costa. I'm with that. I think Costa would take the bill.
Yeah, I think so.
Look, it's an absolute pleasure to speak with you. I'll tell you, you are so great to be around. You really are. I love seeing you. We've had so much fun in different places, and you always put a smile on all of our faces. And I love watching you fight, man.
Thank you.
I love watching you fight. I'm really excited for the journey. I know that Brian doesn't take on people that he really doesn't believe in. So he believes in you, we believe in you, and I'm really excited to watch the journey. And I'm excited for tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden. Don't forget, guys, Richardson, Hitchins, and George Kambosos Jr. for the IBF Junior Welterweight Championship of the World. And next week, we're going to be back with more Matchroom Radio with David Diamante from Birmingham, England. So tune in then. And for now, I'll say thank you, guys, and Teremoana Teremoana.
Thank
Teremoana.
you.
All right.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
We'll see you later.
Awesome. Thank you.